How are you? Today I brought you a fantastic recipe if you're looking for an easy, fluffy zero-carb bread, if you're on a low-carb or ketogenic diet, if you want to control your blood sugar, if you want a healthier life, you're going to love this bread. There is no flour at all in this recipe. In fact, it only has 2 ingredients. It's easy to make and you're going to love it. It's ultra nutritious and filling. Stick around until the end because you won't want to miss this. Before we start, this delicious recipe is also rich in protein, contains no milk, no gluten, no dairy products. You're really going to love it. I want to ask you if you still try to eat bread in your daily life or if you've stopped eating bread because you think it doesn't fit your eating style. When we manage to make healthy recipes, there's always a way to make it work. So, you're really going to love this recipe. This bread turns out amazing. Go ahead and leave your like, that way you help me out, and share it with anyone who needs to see healthy recipes like this. Let's grow our chain of kindness. To get the exact amounts, since there are only 2 ingredients, take a look down below in the description. So, the first ingredient is the egg. Actually, it's the egg yolk, which I'm going to pierce here to remove the membrane from the yolk. A lot of people say, I don't like these recipes that use egg yolk because they end up smelling like egg with that strong taste. Actually, when we strain it like this, we leave the membrane of the yolk behind, and that way we get a milder, more pleasant flavor. And egg yolk is very nutritious. While the yolk is draining here, separating from the membrane, let me tell you that the yolk is extremely nutritious. In terms of fats, it contains very healthy fats, including unsaturated fats. Many people don't know this. They think it's only saturated fat, but that's not the case. It actually has a very interesting fat profile. Since the yolk contains these healthy fats, nature has provided a wonderful benefit. It put vitamins A, D, E, and K in the egg yolk, fat-soluble vitamins that help in their absorption, thanks to the good amount of healthy fats present in our yolk. The yolk also contains choline, which is excellent for our brain, and the yolk has protein as well. Some people think that egg yolk is just fat, right? But that's not true. It actually contains a quite significant amount. We estimate that there are about 2.5 to 3 grams of protein per yolk, so it's quite interesting. Besides everything else, we have to remember that the yolk gives that creaminess, that very interesting flavor. So it's an excellent addition to our diet. So the membrane is already here. You can see it, right? I'm going to remove it, and now I'm going to add a little bit of salt first, just to lightly season it, and I'm going to add the second essential ingredient, which is baking powder. Then we mix and beat it until it gets foamy. We can't rush this step, because after all, that's all there is to the recipe, just the egg yolk and the baking powder itself. So I keep beating here, and in a moment, you'll see that the egg will start to get lighter, more foamy, more whitish. Even so, I'm not going to keep beating this on camera so you don't waste time with me. When it's at the right point, I'll come back. Tell me, do you usually eat more egg whites or more yolks? And sometimes you ask me, Patricia, what do I do with the leftover egg white? What do I do with the leftover yolk? I don't know if you know, but I actually have a video here, actually 2. One that talks about what to do with the egg white if you use the yolk, and I'll leave the link to that video here. Because, after all, you will have used the yolk here. And the other is about what to do with the yolk if you use the egg white. These videos are really cool because they offer healthy ideas, okay? So I'll leave them down here. I'm beating it. Look, you can see the color changing. It's becoming whitish. As soon as it's ready, I'll come back. I'm scraping my whisk here so I don't waste anything. Let me show you what the consistency looks like because I'm going to bake it in this baking dish. Look at how it turns out. It gets really foamy, see? And it's important to whisk it until it reaches this consistency. If you want, you can even use those food processors that have a little whisk attachment. I don't think it's necessary. One important point. Before we bake it, you need to preheat the oven, okay? The oven can't be cold when you put the bread in, otherwise it won't turn out fluffy. And another important point, if you want to make this bread neutral, you don't need to add salt. That's why I said the only required ingredients here are the egg yolk and the baking powder, because we don't need the salt. Maybe you want to keep the bread neutral to eat with something sweet, like jam. In that case, you don't need to add salt, okay? So that's an important point. And now here, give it a little tap like this to settle it down. Let me do it with the spatula. I think that'll be better. And I'm going to sprinkle a little sesame on top to make it look even more like bread. And besides, sesame helps with vitamin E. I just came back to tell you that you can also make it in the microwave, which is even quicker, or in the air fryer. Just remember to preheat the air fryer before putting the bread in. It'll be ready in no time. It's really fast. It turned out super fluffy. Look at this. Only 15 minutes. I'm going to cut a piece here so you can see better what it looks like inside. Make it at home. You're going to love it for sure. It's so fluffy. Look at this. Just look. It even looks like a sponge. It's wonderful. Make it yourself. Let me grab something to try it with. I don't know. Maybe I'll get some cream cheese or something like that. Look, I'm even going to cut it open here, open up a piece so you can see the soft center it has. Look how amazing that is. And now I'm going to do this. I grabbed a bit of my cream cheese here. Remember, I have a playlist of spreads and dips for you to make at home too. Tell me what you would spread on this delicious treat. I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video. That's super important to me. And share it with a friend you know who you think will enjoy it. Let's spread this chain of kindness together. That's what I want here on the channel. Let's try it. This is so amazing. The flavor is wonderful. I'm sure you're going to love it a lot. So fluffy, it doesn't taste like egg, surprisingly. Make it yourself. See you next time. Bye.